Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, let's discuss a very important question. In the world of AI, do you still really need to learn DevOps tools? A lot of people ask this question because today AI can write the Kubernetes manifests, AI can write Docker files, AI can help you with Git commands. In fact, if you go with AI agents, they can also execute these commands for you. So people ask me, why should I learn DevOps tools? In today's video, I'll explain you the exact reason why you have to learn the tools still in 2026. And also, I'll tell you the list of tools that you have to focus. There are hundreds of tools out there. Today, you don't have to learn all of them. I'll tell you which ones you have to focus on. Without any delay, let's get started. First thing, obviously, let's address this. You should definitely learn the DevOps tools. And here is the reason why. Let's take one easy scenario. Imagine you joined as a DevOps engineer in an organization and you are asked to implement branching strategy. Very common task, right? Most of the DevOps engineers do it. Now, you can give your repository to the AI agent. Let's say you use GitHub Copilot. You might be using Claude model. You share your repository with it and you ask it, what is the branching strategy to implement? Now, 100% Claude will come up with a branching strategy and it will come up with the best branching strategy. No question about it. But what it lacks is your organizational context. For most of the DevOps tasks, even if we talk about the branching strategy, along with your source code, your organizational context is very important. How many developers you have, how many development teams are working on the repository. On top of that, what is the skill set of your developers? What is your management requirement? Because DevOps is a culture. Just the best branching strategy does not work for you all the time. Not all the time. Most of the times, the ideal branching strategy might not work for you. How you decide upon a branching strategy is by considering all of these things, especially your organizational context. What is your developer skill set? What is the previous branching strategy you had? What challenges you had with that previous branching strategy? Now you have to design it overcoming all of these things. So what I'm trying to say here, it's not that AI cannot implement the branching strategy. It can definitely do that for you, but it might not be the ideal solution for you. So as a DevOps engineer, only if you know what are the different branching strategies, only if you know what works the best for you, then you can take the help of AI. For example, you can tell Claude, implement something like GitHub branching strategy. Or maybe you can say, implement trunk based branching strategy. You give it a clear instruction, it will perform the task for you. Then it will execute the Git commands for you. It will create the required branches. It will create architecture diagram. So the USP is not the Git commands. Today, if you are a DevOps engineer, the differentiator is not the Git commands that you are running, but the differentiator is basically the understanding of DevOps, right? Let's take another scenario as well. Scenario two. Let's say you join an organization and you are given a very, very simple task. Create S3 bucket on AWS using Terraform. Now, this would hardly take 2 minutes if you use Claude or maybe if you use Windsurf or something, any AI, even ChatGPT. But imagine you have zero knowledge on DevOps, okay? And you are trying to implement this task with Claude. So probably you will write a prompt. You will just say, I want to create S3 bucket with all the best practices and with all security considerations, right? Because you are not good at DevOps, this is the prompt that you would generate. Now, what happens in this case? In the first run, Claude will create the Terraform manifest. If you execute that, it will create S3 bucket as well. But after doing that, you might have a question. Is it the best architecture for S3 bucket? You will just ask it again. Do you think this is the best configuration? What happens now? It will change the configuration. Because whenever you ask AI, is this the best? It will never tell you this is the best configuration. it will always tell you there is something that you have to enhance. If you want to try, just create some configuration with an AI agent. Let's say do it with ChatGPT, get the uh, Terraform manifest. Now take it to Claude and ask it, do you think any changes are required in this? It will definitely modify the things for you. So as long as you know as a DevOps engineer, I want to create S3 bucket with, let's say, public access denied, with lifecycle management on the S3 bucket, with S3 bucket policies, with proper tags that matches the compliance of your organization, you will not know how to implement the task. I mean, what I'm trying to say here, Claude can create the S3 bucket for you, but it might not be the best configuration that you need. What you have to actually tell Claude, I need an S3 bucket with public bucket access denied, with lifecycle management enabled. This is the lifecycle management that I'm looking for. And these are the tags that I'm looking for. This is the bucket policy that I'm looking for. Only then Claude can create the configuration. So again, what is the USP? USP is not AWS commands, or USP is not going to AWS and clicking the buttons. USP is the architecture, understanding of Terraform and S3 buckets. So you need to know how S3 buckets work, how Terraform works. Then you can just tell Claude, do this thing for me. So what you are saving here, the time for writing the Terraform manifest, right? Let's take one final scenario, Kubernetes. A lot of you will actually understand Kubernetes better because most of the times as DevOps engineers you work with Kubernetes. So let's take this final scenario. Architecting Kubernetes, a never-ending task if you go with AI. Now imagine you joined an organization as a DevOps engineer and the requirement is to create a Kubernetes cluster. Now, if you are someone who does not know anything about Kubernetes, right? You know nothing about Kubernetes, you can definitely go to Claude, ask it to create Kubernetes cluster on AWS. Probably it would create an EKS cluster. And then in the prompt, if you say all the security best practices, everything that an organization need, the loop will be endless. What Claude will do, it will create EKS because you said all the best practices, all the security considerations. It will create Istio for you. It will create Argo CD for you. It will create XYZ configuration for you. Probably on your Kubernetes cluster, you will have 100 different controllers because you said, I need the best. For Claude, there is nothing like best. It will take everything. It will not hesitate. Looking at your application, initially it might think service mesh is not required, but because you use the adjective best, it will also add Istio service mesh. Because if you have pod to pod security, it is always good. Or it will also add unwanted observability for you. Probably it would add high level open telemetry for you, but your application might not need it. So these kind of tasks, you can never rely on the AI agents. They will definitely do the best, but that best can be overwhelming for you. Instead, what you have to tell Claude, I need a Kubernetes cluster. I want to deploy my application as a daemon set, and I want to expose the service using the node port. I want this ingress controller. I want this configuration in the ingress controller. I want this annotations on my ingress resource, or I want this as my gateway class. This is my gateway class configuration. Only then Claude can perform the activity for you as you want. Again, USP is not at all about creating the Kubernetes cluster. USP is understanding Kubernetes and understanding what your organization needs. This is where you can sustain as a DevOps engineer. But Abhishek, how to get that experience? How to get the understanding of the architecture? How to instruct the AI? Very simple. The traditional learning approach has never changed, even in the world of AI. To learn the concepts, you have to follow the same path. To gain experience, you have to follow the same path. Learn from the tutorials or from the documentation, whatever you feel is better. Then practice the concepts what you have learned. And finally, implement real-time projects. For example, on this channel, every time we learn a concept, we have implemented a real-time concept. So anyone who learns from the channel, they'll definitely have experience to instruct the AI. That's it. Nothing has changed when it comes to the learning experience or the learning path. The traditional learning path is still the best learning path, even in the world of AI. Now, the bottom line is that DevOps engineers are going to use AI. So they are going to instruct AI on how to perform the task, and AI is going to perform the task for the DevOps engineers. So the human in loop will stay and DevOps engineers will stay in the market. Now let's talk about the tools. So the best part is that now you don't have to learn all the tools that are available in the market. Just pick up one skill and learn one tool per the skill. For example, Linux is a skill. Just learn one Linux distribution. CI/CD is a skill. Just learn one CI/CD skill or one tool in the space of CI/CD. Similarly, container orchestration, learn one tool in the space of container orchestration. Let me take a whiteboard and draw that thing for you. So starting with Linux, right? When it comes to Linux, just focus on Ubuntu. More than enough. Learn Ubuntu, practice on Ubuntu, and even do some real-time projects on Ubuntu. That is good enough. Then Git. When it comes to Git, just learn GitHub. Same thing. Create repositories on GitHub, understand how to use GitHub, practice the Git commands using GitHub, probably push the files to GitHub, understand pull requests, issues, anything on GitHub, and even do your real-time projects on GitHub. Then scripting. Just pick up shell scripting and start with it. Of course, eventually when you master DevOps, you might need Python. But to get started, shell is more than enough. Then you have to learn about infrastructure, right? How do you create the infrastructure? And for infrastructure, just focus on Terraform. There are a lot of tools. People will confuse you with Pulumi, people will confuse you with Crossplane. Ignore. Just focus on Terraform. It's good enough. Then configuration management, just focus on Ansible, right? Learn Ansible, practice, do some real-time projects. Then when it comes to containers, you have two options here. You can go with Podman or you can go with Docker. Same concept. No? If you're a beginner, you can go with Docker. Even Podman, they are supporting the same commands. They are doing the exact same resources. So it's up to you. Pick up anyone. Podman is completely open source and there are no limits as well, if you are worried about the Docker limits. Then container orchestration engine, just go with Kubernetes. More than enough. You don't have to learn anything. And observability, take simple open source stack for observability. You can focus on things like Prometheus, Grafana, ELK stack, and Jaeger. Finally, CI/CD. So when it comes to CI/CD, go with GitHub Actions. But Abhishek, what about cloud platform? Yeah, so cloud platform, as I told you, it doesn't matter which one you learn. You can go with AWS, you can go with Azure, or you can go with GCP. My personal recommendation is always AWS because it has a large market share. So if you learn AWS as a cloud platform, you can show that relevant experience in your resume and you can get more opportunities as well. But the bottom line, what I'm trying to say, you just need to learn one tool per skill, not more than that. Pick up skill, learn one tool, and even in the future, if your organization has to shift, because you already gained experience and you also have AI today, so you can take the help of AI, you can instruct the AI and perform the task accordingly. It will probably take 2 to 3 days for you to switch from one tool to other, not more than that. Now, I hope this video gave you clear understanding why you still need to learn DevOps tools in the space of 2026. If you still have questions, do let me know in the comment section. I'm more than happy to share you with more scenarios. Probably if you want, I can also create a video showing how AI can go wrong. If you just give prompts to AI, asking it to create best, or you provide adjectives like create super simple or create super efficient, AI can go wrong. I can also show you that through the demonstrations if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching today's video. See you all in the next one. Take care.